Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
A Minnesota man is arrested for rape and assault, but it's not the first time he's been in trouble with the law. He has had more than 37 offenses in Cass County alone. Thanks for joining us tonight. Mike has the evening off. Ayub Abakar is accused of raping and assaulting a woman on Tuesday night. She was 5 months pregnant. She says he used a flashlight to beat her in the eye, forehead, and feet. And Abakar was just released from jail for aggravated assault last week. From the time that we first reported this story, many of you wanted to know how this person wasn't already behind bars. So Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop investigated and found out how someone with dozens of previous criminal charges was still allowed to walk the streets.
Ayub Abakar is very familiar to the legal system. He has 12 offenses in Minnesota and 37 in Cass County. Many viewers have commented saying, it's time to get this pervert off the street, put him behind bars so he can't rape and assault anyone else. And someone else says, how about some serious prison time without parole? Abakar has seen 11 different judges in the Cass County court system, and he has had the same judge for 15 of his offenses. But according to the Cass County State's Attorney's Office, half of the cases were handled by a lower municipal court.
All of them would be B misdemeanor level offenses, or maybe even some of them potentially could be infractions or something of that nature.
Abakar's criminal record stretches pretty far. So how can somebody with so many charges that tend to be escalating still be walking the streets?
They said when each case comes in, we have to review each case for the specific facts of the case. And when we're making a sentencing recommendation, certainly somebody's prior history will come in, but the weight of the evidence in that particular case weighs very heavily on what we can do.
One victim's family member reached out to Valley News Live saying that they feel awful for the woman in the most recent case and believes it's not any one person in the Cass County court system that is not doing their job. It is the legal system. Visti says that the most recent crime is violent, but Abakar is innocent until proven guilty. And she says she doesn't think the system is perfect, but it is the process we use.
I mean, we do our best to fetter that out and try to get the just result. Unfortunately, people do what people do, and Mr. Abakar does what he does. I don't necessarily think that him getting out last week on the aggravated assault is a failing. I think that he has now been charged with a new crime, which is tragic. That will unfold itself in the criminal justice system, as all cases do.
In Fargo, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
As of today, the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Department has issued an immigration hold on Abakar, which means they wish to speak with him. Well, if you ever need help uncovering fraud or corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline. We'll do our very best to get to the bottom of it. Call 701-237-6576. Leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will then get on the case and go to work exposing the truth. It sure feels a little colder and windier outside today. Let's see if we'll be warming up this weekend. We can't complain too much, Hutch. It is nice, but how's it looking tonight?
Well, this evening we are dealing with some cooler temperatures than yesterday. We're in the 50s as opposed to the 60s, and the wind has been gusting out of that cool northerly direction all day. Fergus Falls is 48 right now. Jamestown, it was cool and crisp in the 30s much of the day, but your temperature's rebounding nicely. It's breezy from the northwest. I expect that breezy, windy condition to continue, especially east of the Red River Valley as the storm system exits. Now, on a related note, we are looking at a flash flood watch for Nelson County. This is for a 5-foot hole on the Tolna Dam there. They're monitoring that. Also closing Highway 15. If you're traveling up there, be aware of that. Temperatures this evening in Fargo-Moorhead falling pretty rapidly through the 40s. So, wear that jacket out tonight. But I do have reason to believe we could be breaking out short-sleeve shirts for the weekend ahead. I'll have details in your holiday parade weekend forecast in a few moments.
And shorts and sunglasses.
If you like.
Good.
That sounds fitting, yes.
All right, thanks, Hutch. Well, formal charges have been filed against a Grafton woman accused of locking her girlfriend's 4 young children in a dog cage. Jordan Nelson's charged with 4 counts of felony abuse and neglect of a child and felonious restraint. Now, the children told investigators they were locked in a cage in the basement as punishment, and the lights were then turned off. The complaint says Nelson punished one child by holding her head underwater. Another child was mentally handicapped. A man from Ponsford, Minnesota has been found guilty of killing his girlfriend by setting her house on fire. Charles Jones was convicted of second-degree murder in the death of Shalonda Clark. Jones set a fire that killed the woman in the home they shared. It happened December 2013. Deputies found Jones outside the house of the home that was covered with soot and burns. He told emergency crews someone was missing and might be inside the home. He later then admitted to setting the house on fire while Clark was sleeping. She died inside the home. A $330 million proposal from Governor Mark Dayton will help fix safety improvements at 75 of the state's most dangerous and congested rail crossings. Here in the Valley, local fire chiefs and other emergency responders welcome Governor Dayton's proposed legislation. Crookston's fire chief says railroad companies have already paid for some disaster training for their officers, and he says the governor's plan to provide more training for first responders is welcome news.
He's been helping a lot with providing training, requiring the rail companies to provide training and resources for all of us. Oh, you bet. Governor Dayton and the rail companies have been, they're really going to help us a lot in response to any of this.
And the chief notes that it's not only oil cars that cause a potential danger. Rail companies haul all kinds of hazardous materials through towns. What was thought to be a green light given by federal regulators has turned red. Powdered alcohol once again is trying to be banned in North Dakota. It joins several states attempting to ban the product, including Minnesota. The substance called Palcohol, and it can be mixed in drinks. The company that makes Palcohol hopes to begin selling it this summer. Well, coming up on Valley News Live 10 at 10, we're going to give you an inside look that you'll only see here on how much will go into treating more than 50 beagles rescued from a home in Shelley, Minnesota. Most parents in the Valley would agree childcare is very hard to come by, and believe it or not, there were no licensed daycare providers for the city of Milner until now. On Monday, a new daycare and preschool center will open its doors for the first time. Valley News Team's Bradford Eric heads south to see how the community's banding together to raise their children.
If you're not from Milner, you wouldn't think twice passing by this squat, red-topped building on Main Street. But appearances aren't everything. This is the new Tiny Tykes preschool and daycare.
Milner is a fantastic community. I'm always amazed, no matter what our project is, people just get behind it in Milner. They're very, very community-minded.
Well, I don't think very many communities could come together and build this kind of a facility in less than a year.
They work for the community. They're not out for their individual gains.
Almost every one of the 650 residents pitched in to help, whether it was donating money, lending equipment, or man-hours. A state grant covered only a small part of the $500,000 needed, so almost every business in town stepped up. This facility is so new and so important to the city of Milner that you've got to put on these bad boys, shoe booties.
This will be the infant room, so it can house the infants.
The facility also has a toddler room, a preschool area, a full-size kitchen, a larger activity area for groups, and specially designed tornado shelters, fully encased in solid concrete.
I think when you work on a project as hard as all of us have, it almost becomes your own baby. You just want to make sure everything goes well and right, and that it's gonna happen.
And with dozens of kids already lined up to fill the new facility, these ladies couldn't be happier. In Milner, Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
The facility still has yet to build a playground behind it, and they are still accepting donations. As we said before, doors open on Monday. Congratulations, guys. Well, later at 6, we'll tell you more on how you can celebrate St. Patty's this weekend.
Well, not a record-breaking day temperature-wise. It was windy and cooler, but the heat is set to return for your weekend. I'll have hour-by-hour details in your forecast right after this.